Throughout history, the Dutch have always been known to play the elegant game, a beautiful game, total football, all the way back from 1974 and 1978, where they went to back-to-back World Cup finals and just came up short against West Germany and Argentina. Or how about the 1988 team, the only Dutch team to have ever won a major tournament, where they lifted the Euro Cup and were finally crowned champions of Europe. And who could forget the 1998 team, the team featuring Dennis Bergkamp, the man Karo was named after. They went to the semifinal and finished 4th in the World Cup. And how about the 2010 team that went to the final against Spain and just came up short, featuring Schneider, Robben, and Van Persie. And that same team got back together and went to the semifinal in the very next World Cup and just came up short against Argentina. Can Karo be put in the same bracket as these legends? And I thought, which better way to do that than get an iconic World Cup haircut, just like R9 did. And that's exactly what I did. So I chopped off the hair, I dyed it blonde like I'm Slim Shady, and now we're ready for the group stage. And we begin our group stage facing off against Iceland. And Albert to Johannesson. Anderson on the ball. And Karo with his blonde hair getting the ball. And now Karo passing it to Cody Gakpo. And Gakpo taking a shot and putting it into the back of the net. And the Dutch are up 1-0 within the second minute. And we truly have gotten this World Cup off to a brilliant start. We couldn't have asked for a better start. De Jong to Karo. And Karo on the ball, getting brought down. And surely that's going to be a red. And it is a red. And Karo getting in the face of Johannesson. Frimpong on the ball. Passing it to Reinders. Reinders with a beautiful pass to Virgil, who finds Reinders again. And Reinders finding Gakpo, who finds the back of the net for the second time in this match. And that red card is starting to pay dividends as Cody Gakpo has found his second of the match. Netherlands winning 2-0. And I have a feeling we're not done yet. Reinders passing it beautifully to Karo. Karo finding Xavi Simons. And Xavi Simons finding Karo, who finds Gakpo, and Gakpo finds the back of the net for the third time in this match. Cody Gakpo with a hat trick. A beautiful hat trick for the Dutchman. And Karo with another assist. And Karo on the ball, finding Dumfries. Gakpo finding De Ligt finding Reinders. Karo making a run, and Karo getting the ball and getting past the defense, finding the back of the net, and Karo has scored his first ever World Cup goal. A beautiful goal scored by Karo, the 4th goal of the match. We are absolutely dominating Iceland. That red card did not help them one bit. And Karo getting the ball taken off him. Alertsen passing it to Albert. Albert on the ball. Beautiful pass to Alertsen, who has a shot and puts it into the back of the net. A great consolation goal for Iceland. And Netherlands winning 4-1. And Karo's just going to juggle here and see the end of this match. And there Karo is, seeing the end of the match. The Netherlands winning the first match of the group stage 4-1. And you can see in Group D, we head to the top of the group table. And our next match is against none other than Ghana. And this, of course, is going to be a very tough match, as Ghana is always a tough opponent. Very tough African team. And Forsen finding Kudas. And Kudas on the ball. Passing it to Forsen. Forsen cutting in. Forsen passing it to Williams, who has a shot just wide of the post. Partey finding Kudas. Kudus finding Forsen. And Forsen on the ball. Cutting back. Crossing it in. And it's Mensah with a shot. And here's Karo on the ball. Passing it to Frimpong. Frimpong lobbing it up. And Becker passing it to Karo. And Karo on his left foot. How did I not score that? And here's Kudus threading it through. Forsen on the ball now. Forsen cutting in. Beautiful pass to Williams. And Williams with a shot. And Williams with a goal. And we are now losing to Ghana. A beautiful goal by Williams. And how will Karo answer now? Karo passing it to Frimpong. Becker with a beautiful pass to Frimpong, and Frimpong passing it back to Becker. And Becker finding Karo. Karo turning with the ball. And Karo still on the ball. Becker getting in his way. And Karo having a left-footed shot. Karo with a beautiful tackle. And Karo finding Becker. Becker finding Karo again. And now this time, Karo still unable to score. And Karo turning with the ball. Unable to make something happen. And Ghana give us our first defeat of the World Cup. And we head down to second place in the group stage. And you could take a look at the other results across the board as we prepare to head into the third match of the group stage, and that is against the mighty Spain, who defeated the Dutch in the 2010 World Cup, who the Dutch defeated in the 2014 World Cup group. And let's just say there's a decent amount of history between these two teams. And here we have Rodri with a beautiful pass to Morata, and Pedri on the ball now. Rodri finding Gavi. Oyarzabal lobbing it over, and it's Lamine. And Yamal unable to get past Maatsen. This time Yamal getting past Maatsen briefly. Oyarzabal having a shot and putting it into the back of the net. And this could be bad news as we're trailing now to Spain. We could be in third, fourth place in the group. Gakpo finding Dumfries. Dumfries with a beautiful pass. And Karo doing a great job to find Gakpo, and Gakpo hammering it into the back of the net. And we are back in this match right after conceding. And that's exactly what you want to do if you do concede early. And Morata passing it to Pedri. Rodri. Karo on the ball now. Doing a great job to settle that one. And now Karo still on the ball. Karo looking for options. And he finds Frimpong, who finds Karo once again. And now Karo, he's going to have a shot. And Unai Simon, his teammate, with a great save. Pedro Porro getting the ball stripped of him by Karo. And now Karo cutting in. A beautiful pass to Javi Simons. And Javi Simons finding Karo. Karo with a shot, and Karo putting it into the back of the net. Not once, but twice, as he just scored off his own rebound. And this madman is going to go celebrate with the Dutch fans. Just kidding. The stewards are telling him to calm down. But Karo, nonetheless, doing a great job at hammering that into the back of the net and giving the Dutch the lead in this match. Unai Simon passing it to Pau. And Pau with a lobbed pass. But De Jong's there with a great interception. And he passes it to Karo. And Karo is through on goal, but unable to have a shot. And Ake passing it to Malen. And Karo now on the ball once again, through on goal once again. And an outside the foot shot finds its way into the back of the net. And now we're gonna have a little dance time. Let's go. And Karo finding himself on the score sheet once again. And the Netherlands up 3-1 against Spain. A well-deserved lead for the Dutch. Sanchez on the ball now. Sanchez cutting in, passing it to Pedri. Pedri having a shot, but Verbruggen with a save. Daniel Malen passing it to Karo. Karo unable to get a control of the ball, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter because the Netherlands have found themselves victorious in the match and find themselves heading to the top of the group table in first place with 6 points. And you can take a look at the other results across the board, or you could just look at this beautiful bracket made by yours truly and see that we have been drawn against Hungary in the round of 16. And the Hungarians will present a tough challenge for the Dutch, but I think we're up for it. And Cody Gakpo getting us kicked off here. Karo on the ball. Karo with a great pass to Frimpong, who finds Karo once again. De Jong passing it to Reinders. And now Karo cutting in. Karo still on the ball, getting through the defense. Karo with a beautiful shot, but tossed with the save. Frimpong passing it to Gakpo. Gakpo finding Karo. Karo in acres of space. You've seen the end of this story many... Never mind. Karo on the ball, passing it to Frimpong. Frimpong finding Karo once again. And Karo. A beautiful through ball to Gakpo, who's gonna smash it into the back of the net. Never mind. Lang finding Karo. This time surely. Karo with a beautiful turn. And now Karo with a beautiful shot. How did I not score? Dumfries finding Karo. Karo finding Frimpong. Frimpong finding Karo. Karo is in acres of space. He has all the space in the world. Can he convert this shot? Passing it to Gakpo, who passes it to Lang. Reinders passing it to Karo. We have been very wasteful with our opportunities. And if you know a thing or two about football, you know that these are the kind of games which you end up losing. And Karo with a beautiful pass to Noah Lang, who has a shot and puts it into the back of the net and puts the Dutch up 1-0 against the Hungarians. A beautiful goal scored by Noah Lang. And let's see what the Hungarians have in store for the Dutch. And Sabath on the ball now. And Sabath cutting in, lobbing it over. Madsen with the interception. Reinders passing it to Karo. Karo with a great pass to Gakpo. Gakpo cutting back, passing to Karo. Karo through on goal, having a shot and putting it into the back of the net. And we are well on our way to the quarterfinal of the World Cup. A great goal by Karo and an even better dance. And Sabath on the ball now. Passing it to Soboslai. Karo lobbing it over to Dardai, but it does not matter because the Dutch collect a 2-0 victory over Hungary, and we move on to the quarterfinals where we will face off against England. And you can see there Morocco face off against Germany, Ghana face off against Denmark, and Argentina face off against France. And getting ready for our match against England, we can expect a very tough match because they have stars all across the board. And getting us kicked off here is Cody Gakpo, who passes it to Karo. Karo with some skill moves and a pass to Frimpong. Frimpong back to Karo. Karo back to Frimpong. Gakpo finding Karo. Beautiful football, scintillating football. Karo to Gakpo. Gakpo to the back of the net, and the Dutch are up 1-0 in the 3rd minute of the match. Can you believe it? And Gakpo's trying to give himself CTE by hitting his head on that corner flag. And the Dutch now up 1-0. Bellingham to Rice, and Rice back to Bellingham, who finds Gallagher, and Sancho on the ball now. Karo finding the ball. Or getting the ball past him, rather. And now Karo still on the ball. A left-footed shot could have been better. Harry Kane on the ball. Kane getting past Virgil somehow, some way. Unable to the second time. And Virgil finding Karo. Karo with a great pass to Frimpong. Frimpong finding Gakpo. Gakpo able to find Javi Simons, who finds Gakpo and finds Karo. And Karo finds the back of the net. The Dutch up 2-0 in the 28th minute against England. Can you believe it? I bet the Three Lions can't believe it. But the Dutch are starting to believe in their World Cup dream. And Frimpong unable to find Karo. Bellingham to Rice. And now Karo on the ball. Passing it to De Jong. De Jong Great pass to Javi Simons, who passed to Gakpo. Gakpo to Karo. Karo to the back of the net with a cool, calm, collected finish. Can you believe it? Denis Karo with a great goal. And the Dutch find themselves up 3-0 against England in the quarterfinal of the World Cup. Who could have predicted this? And Jude to Kane. Kane on the ball, getting past Karo. Kane able to get past Karo and Virgil. And Kane putting it into the back of the net. And Kane has gotten himself a consolation goal. Yeah, good job, bro. You're still down 3-1. Get back to the center of the field. We got a game to play. Gakpo passing it to Karo. Karo with some skill moves and getting brought down by Bellingham, who's going to get booked. Bellingham getting past Karo and getting the pass to Saka. Saka finding Harry Kane, who finds Jude, and Jude hammers it into the back of the net. Surely they're not going to come back. I may have spoken too soon. I may have talked too much shit. I told Harry Kane to get back to the middle of the field, and he heard me. And this might not end well for me. Shaw passing it to Rice. Rice passing it to Saka. Saka lobbing it over. Kane heading it back. Gallagher to Saka. And Saka gets brought down by Denis Karo. No! Ref! You can't do this. You can't do this, ref. Please. And the ref has made their decision. The penalty will stand. And Karo may have just let England back into this match. And Kane bearing the penalty. And the English back in this match. A 3-goal comeback, utterly embarrassing on our part. And here's Karo, the man in shame. Passing it to Javi Simons. Karo with a great tackle. De Jong finding Reinders. Malen passing it to Karo. Karo passing it to Gakpo, who puts it into the back of the net. And the Dutch are back up. A beautiful team goal. Gakpo bailing Karo out. And the English only have a few minutes left in this match. Karo on the ball. Karo trying to stretch the field out and waste time. And Karo having a long shot. And that will be the end of the match. The Dutch managed to escape from jail. And we find ourselves heading to the semifinal of the World Cup, where we will face off against Morocco, who pulled off an upset victory over the Germans. And on the other side of the bracket, we have Argentina facing off against Denmark. And here we have Morocco, a very tough opponent. They went to the semifinal of the World Cup in 2022. Ain't no telling what they can do in this one. Brahim on the ball. Passing it to En-Nesyri. And En-Nesyri with a shot, but Verbruggen with a save. And De Jong clearing that corner out. Shaky defending by the Dutch. Frimpong unable to find Karo. Brahim finding En-Nesyri. And En-Nesyri with a shot, but Verbruggen with another save. Karo getting the ball, passing it immediately to De Jong. De Jong finding Gakpo. Gakpo finding Javi Simons, who's in acres of space. And Javi Simons threading it through to Karo. Karo into the back of the net. It goes. And we are going to the final. What? Brahim passing it right to Reinders. Reinders finding Karo. Karo able to find Javi Simons. Javi Simons passing it back to Karo. Karo unable to get a shot off. And Karo getting the ball, passing to Gakpo. Gakpo finding Karo. Karo finding the back of the net one more time. Can you believe it? Denis Karo has just scored another goal. A brilliant goal by Karo. And that might just be the goal to send us to the World Cup final. Brahim. Aguero lobbing it over. Virgil with a beautiful interception. And Nestor with a shot, but Verbruggen with a great save. Virgil doing great to clear that corner out. Karo turning with the ball, taking it in space. Karo passing to Malin. Malin cutting back, unable to find Karo. Karo now trying to stretch the field out, passing it to Matson. Gakpo to Matson. And Matson unable to find anyone, but Javi Simon doing a great job to get the ball back. Aguero passing it, and surely this will be the end of the match. We're going to the final of the World Cup. Can you believe it? A beautiful performance by the Dutch. Sometimes you gotta win in a not so pretty way. And that's exactly what we've done here as we head into the final of the World Cup to face off against the current defending champions, Argentina. Will the Dutch be able to get their first World Cup, or will the Argentines get their fourth World Cup? And here's Karo passing it to Frimpong. Dumfries finding Gakpo. Javi Simon's passing it to Karo. Karo left-footed shot. Martinez with a save. A great interception by Van Dijk. Karo passing it right to Palacios. And Van Dijk finding Karo once again. And Karo in some space. Passing it to Frimpong. Frimpong back to Karo. Karo now in even more open space. Karo through the defense, having a shot, but Emiliano Martinez is there to make the save. Latura Martinez passing it back to McAllister, who has a shot. Nico passing it to McAllister, who has another shot. And we're very lucky to not concede there. And Karo getting the ball passed to him. Frimpong back to Karo. Karo on the ball still. And Karo through the defense he goes. Left-footed shot just wide of the post. And Karo's very upset with himself. Matson to Karo. Karo cutting in. And now Karo. A beautiful pass to Matson. Matson finding Gakpo. Gakpo having a shot wide of the post. Molina on the ball. McAllister to Laturo. Laturo with a shot, but Van Bruggen with a save. Dumfries. And Velasco stripping Dumfries of the ball. Passing it to Laturo, who has a shot, unable to get past Van Bruggen. Argentina with a corner. McAllister going short. Nico on the ball. Karo with a beautiful tackle. Frimpong passing it to Karo. Karo now has some space. I'm going to take this space. I'm going to make something happen with it right now. Karo through the defense. In acres of space. I'm evaluating my options. There's only one option. Take it through and score. How did I not score? Karo absolutely struggling to score in this match. And it could very well bite us. And McAllister passing to Nico. Nico to Molina. Reinders with a great interception. Karo now getting past Nico. And now Karo still on the ball. Karo getting past the defense. No way. Karo has a shot. And he puts it into the back of the net in the World Cup final. Denis Karo has just scored for the Dutch in the World Cup final. And maybe, just maybe, the Dutch could be getting their first ever World Cup at last. A beautiful goal by Karo, putting the Dutch up 1-0 against Argentina. And the current champions do not have the magician known as Messi to save them. Laturo on the ball. Laturo passing it to Velasco, who has a shot, but Van Bruggen with another great save. Our team is playing great. That's exactly what you need to win a World Cup. And Laturo with a header, but over the bar it goes. Karo getting the ball passed to him. Karo now having a shot. Martinez wide awake. Molina lobbing it over. Van Dijk with a great interception. Van de Ven passing it to Karo. Karo having a shot. And Karo scoring his second goal of the match. And the Dutch are now up 2-0. And Karo hits the gritty. A beautiful goal scored by Denis Karo. And he now puts the Dutch up 2-0 against the current champions Argentina. And And it looks like the dream might finally be happening for the Netherlands. They're up 2-0 in the final of the World Cup with just 20 minutes left in the match. And here's Malen passing it to Karo. Karo taking the ball, heading towards goal. Karo crossing it in, and Romero's there to get it out. Rodriguez with the clearance. 90th minute, Karo on the ball, losing out to Rodriguez. Laturo lobbing it over. Nico passing it back to McAllister. Nico on the ball now. Nico to McAllister. Last chance of the match. Surely McAllister unable to score, and the match has come to an end. And the Netherlands have won their first ever World Cup. And look what it means to the Dutch team, to the Dutch fans, to the Netherlands as a whole country. And look at the former champions Argentina as they have to look at the Dutch be crowned the victors. Denis Karo has helped the Netherlands lift the big one. They've won a Euro Cup, but 3 times they've made it to the finals of the World Cup before this tournament. And in their 4th attempt at a World Cup final, the Dutch finally get crowned champions of the world. And it has a lot to do with that little blonde magician right there on your screen, number 27. The young legend whose name is Denis Karo. And look at Van Dijk lifting the cup up, and look at that fake-ass World Cup being lifted up right now by the Dutch national team. EA, how have you guys managed to mess up the World Cup trophy? Not only have you managed to mess up the Europa League presentation, don't think we ever forgot, the trophy was missing, but look at this. Look at this fugazi-ass, fake-ass World Cup trophy. You know what, never mind, I'm not even gonna let it piss me off. We have won the World Cup trophy. The Dutch have finally been crowned the world champions. They were always considered one of, if not the best teams to have never won the World Cup. And now they can finally put themselves among the greats, among the teams that have won the World Cup. Denis Karo was unable to win anything with Athletic Bilbao, but he finishes the summer off strong with a World Cup victory with his fellow countrymen. Cody Gakpo, you beautiful man. You beautiful, beautiful man, scoring all of those goals. And we have been crowned World Cup champions. And let's just take a look at the tournament that just unfolded before our very eyes. A beautiful World Cup, lots of shocks, lots of goals, a whole lot of upsets, and one champion crowned at the end. The Dutch have won the World Cup. Denis Karo is a World Cup champion. And as you can see, while we were unable to add any club trophies to our trophy cabinet, we were able to add the most beautiful trophy in football to that trophy cabinet, and that is none other than the World Cup trophy, as well as the player of the tournament for the World Cup, aka the Golden Ball, as well as the Golden Boot. We had a very good World Cup. And with that, Season 2 of the FC25 career mode has come to an end, which means Season 3 of this FC25 career mode is right around the corner. Where will Karo go? Will he stay at Athletic Bilbao? Will he go abroad? Will he find a different team to play for? Find out in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. This has been Dennis from Clownywall Gaming. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Make sure to have yourself a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.